Hall of Fame coach in his 23rd year at UConn, looking for his 805th career win. Today's game brought to you in HD TV by Harris Corporation, the world leader of broadcast systems for high-definition television and mobile media. Underway with Connecticut in the light uniforms, the first opportunity. Austri double-teamed, gets it away to Price. And Price underneath to Adrian, and they break that press and score quickly.
Just a high screen, and Craig Austri, when he was trapped off that screen, did not panic.
A quick shot down court by Zaire Taylor, but he was denied by Stanley Robinson.
That is not the way to attack Hasheem Thabeet. You have got to go right into his chest, and you're not going to be able to do it with him standing right underneath the basket. You've got to do it after you move him around.
Thabeet with 150 blocks this year coming into this game. Price with a leaner. 4-0 Huskies.
Well, it was Price that got the mismatch. Mike Anderson was talking about mismatches, but Leo Lyons got switched out on the crafty and very smart A.J. Price.
Taylor saw the opening that time, and Zaire Taylor from Staten Island, New York, has Missouri's first bucket.
Well, that's how you attack Thabeet. After they'd moved him around, he was out on the perimeter. Then you can take it to the basket. Smart play by Zaire Taylor.
Token pressure that time by the Missouri defense. Connecticut setting up its half-court offense and into Thabeet. And the big guy makes it 6-2.
Leo Lyons did a good job pushing him off the lane, but that's a move that Hasheem Thabeet could not have made last year or the year before. That shows how far he's come as an offensive player.
Taylor again goes inside, and that one blocked by Robinson. 2 blocks for him. Austri patiently won't take it. Now he feeds inside to Austin. Or Adrian rather, and Adrian unable to connect on the banker. Carroll, Lawrence is their three-point shooter. The misses his first attempt. Thabeet clears.
Boy, Lawrence made his first attempt against Memphis from the opposite corner. He couldn't have been more open.
Oh, A.J. Price coast to coast, and an 8-2 lead for Connecticut.
That's one area where Missouri's had a problem in transition. That's stopping the ball. You'll remember that Memphis got the ball to the basket at will. They just gave up 102 points.
Through the legs of Tiller, but it goes off a Connecticut player out of bounds to Mizzou.
Hey Dick, when Missouri runs this motion offense, it's 5-man motion. They curl screens and they come off those screens hard. That is really hard to guard with the movement and the great passing that Missouri shows.
This is Carroll, the leading scorer for Missouri. His first attempt as he takes it inside, and he's short, intimidated. Thabeet was there.
Well, he knew that he could drive Jeff Adrian. That's a good matchup for him to drive. But there's no question that the presence of Hasheem Thabeet caused that short arm by Damari Carroll.
Whistle underneath, and a holding foul against Tiller, his first.
Carroll putting the ball on the floor. You can see that Jeff Adrian was taking away his right hand. He's a much stronger driver to the right side. He just funneled him right into Thabeet. And even though Thabeet didn't block the shot, he changed it. His presence and the fact that Adrian funneled him right into it was really important defensively.
And meanwhile, the Husky offense 4 for 5. There's the trap in the corner, but clearing it out of there. Deflection by Lyons, and then taken back by Adrian, and he slams it home. And they had Mizzou 2 men all alone down court, couldn't get the ball there. Lyons tries a 3, well off the mark. See, cleared by Austri.
That's a bad shot by Lyons. They didn't need that. They've been spending this whole game on defense.
A 3 from outside as Craig Austri delivers. He's hitting 33% on the year. Jam Calhoun's Husky hardly averse to the cactus indigenous to this area. They love the West. The last 2 times here out of the West, they won the regional, then went on to the national titles in 1999 and 2004. And they start out red hot, 6 for 7 from the floor. Missouri only 1 for 6. Early 11-point lead.
Even though Missouri wants a frenetic pace, they still have to be patient and run their offense. Taking a couple of quick shots, and that plays right into the hands of Connecticut, allows them to control the tempo.
Tiller inside to Lyons, and a foul. make. There's Keith Ramsey with a basket just in for Lions, and a fine feed by Tiller.
A really nice job by Tiller to draw two defenders on the penetration, and Ramsey had his hands ready. That little hesitation shot fake got Hasheem Thabeet off of the floor, and that's unusual for Thabeet. Usually he waits for the offensive player to leave the floor before he leaves the floor.
Ramsey, a terrible free throw shooter, hitting only 37% for the year. Thabeet, with his first foul, takes a seat. Gavin Edwards is in for him, number 33.
Stanley Robinson has a matchup that he can post. Zaire Taylor guarding him.
A.J. Price can't hit the three.
Really nice block out by Ramsey.
Damari Carroll to the iron. Different game with the beat on the bench.
And it's a different game when they score, because then they can set up their pressure.
Damari Carroll, a near steal, and there is the steal. And taken right back by Austrie. That's twice that's happened.
Unusual mistake by Craig Austrie. Instead of trying to pick up the ball, he tried to dribble it, and that cost him the ball. He was fortunate to get it back.
Jeff Adrian back outside to Austrie.
Connecticut, a set play offense. They like to run set plays so they can get the ball inside.
Austrie into the lane, and the feed beautifully underneath to Stanley Robinson. He has his first bucket.
Austrie unflappable. He's so poised, he never panics.
Played nearly 5 minutes, and Connecticut enjoying a 9-point lead early.
Stanley Robinson showing his versatility as a defender, guarding Zaire Taylor, essentially guarding a point guard combo.
Down to 7 on the shot clock. Someone's got to shoot. 4-3. Carroll will fire, and it's partially blocked by Adrian. All 5 starters have scored already for UConn. Robinson loops out. Tiller. No harm, no foul. Lawrence. Missouri's going to need some of those.
Well, those were shots that he hit against Memphis, but hasn't been able to find the range early.
Price off balance, it won't go down. Ramsey rebounds.
But still a good decision to challenge.
Lawrence beats Connecticut down court, and Matt Lawrence has his first basket. And the steal, and a foul.
Gavin Edwards just careless with the ball, and Missouri, after they score, they to set up their pressure. After you have to take it out of the net, it's a lot harder to go against Missouri and break that pressure.
Marcus Denman triggering in the pass. He's the man who made that long 65-footer, but Kim English unable to hit the three. So 0 for 5 Missouri from outside the line in this first half. 6 minutes gone. Connecticut with the lead, 15-8.
Well, even without Hasheem Thabeet in the game, UConn still wants to go inside. They set a lot of ball screens, but ultimately they want the ball in the paint.
Freshman Kemba Walker gets the roll. Going down hard is Kim English as he was sprinting up the near sidelines and holding his left ankle and into pain. Maybe pain in just the fact that he was breaking free for a possible shot, or a cramp perhaps.
Not sure whether he got tangled up with an official when he was running the lane. Kim English has been an important player for this team. Played great against Marquette, and you'll recall when JT Tiller was injured and couldn't take those important free throws at the end of the game, it was Kim English that came in and knocked him down.
Gimpy as he walks to the bench, and Mike Anderson asking him if he can continue, and doesn't want to take any chances that he's not 100% the way Missouri plays. You can't have somebody that's even 95%. Taylor with Lyons. This is Ramsey. And Lyons. Leo Lyons connects. He has his first hoop.
Well, defensive error by Gavin Edwards, just coming off Lyons and standing in the middle of the lane. You don't want to catch it there. That's a coffin corner.
Kemba Walker eluding the press. Inside Adrian, and he gets the roll.
Kemba Walker just put his head down and Safford did a really nice job of putting pressure on him, but again, Walker didn't panic. If you don't panic, you're going to have some good things on the back end of this pressure.
The Tigers lead the nation in assists, and they really do move the ball well, help each other out, quick passes. Lyons again. Right down the bottom of the well for Leo Lyons, the senior from Kansas City, Kansas.
All Big 12 third team. Lyons is an incredibly talented player, and that's a mismatch with Gavin Edwards on him.
Freshman against freshman here. Walker for Connecticut, Denman, Missouri.
Set a couple of ball screens. Now you got Denman guarding Adrian. They need to go inside to Adrian. Let him post up.
Walker to the baseline and then sets up Gavin Edwards. So easy. Well done by Kemba Walker.
Well, it was another mismatch with Safford on Walker. He just blew right by him.
Ramsey, the other end, does not get the roll, and Edwards is fouled. Ramsey had his hand in there.
Well, Missouri has taken some shots that have been a little bit out of sync in their offense, and as a result, they're not able to get many offensive rebound opportunities. Just a great drive past Safford through the defense, and Gavin Edwards finishes it very nicely. Had his hands ready. What a luxury to be able to put a guy like Gavin Edwards into the game. Most teams don't have a big guy that good, period, let alone your third or fourth big. And he came into the game earlier this year against Gonzaga and was magnificent. He had 14 points, 12 rebounds. You just don't have that kind of production off most benches from big guys like that.
Edwards is playing at home. He's from the Phoenix area, Gilbert. And there's a sweet bank by Stanley Robinson, and it's an 11-point lead again for UConn.
Change in defense. They went to that matchup zone that really extends. You can get some good things in the middle of that zone.
Justin Safford into the game, left-hander, out to Tiller. Lyons in the corner to Denman.
Lyons calling for a clear out. He's got an advantage off the bounce with Edwards.
Almost terrible. Bad pass, but it goes to Tiller. Went by Ramsey, and Tiller was cutting to the basket. Became a perfect bounce pass. Tiller's first stoop.
2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure right now by Missouri.
And there's a reach-in foul on Safford up.
That his team has shown against Missouri's pressure, and also with Hasheem Thabeet out of the game, Missouri has been unable to really attack and get second shots and get to the rim against UConn's defense.
Huskies 11 for 15 at the offensive end. Price running the show. He treasures that. All-star from Long Island. Edwards left alone. Here come the old gold Safford hits the three, and that's the first tray for Missouri today.
Justin Safford is 13 of 19 from three on the season. Only takes good ones, and when he gets a good one, he makes it.
Walker all the way to the baseline at the other end and out of bounds to whom? Connecticut.
You can see Safford catches the ball, the lefty gets his feet set, but the ball started in the opposite corner with Matt Lawrence. That's the good passing and the good spacing you see from Missouri. That makes closeouts that much longer and gives a shooter the opportunity to set his feet.
Walker on his drive was fouled by Marcus Denman. First foul on Denman. Third point for Walker. Near the end of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game for each team. Chevrolet makes a contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Learn more about Chevy innovations at Chevy.com. Well, we're in a football stadium with a football score, 24-17.
Hasheem Thabeet back into the ball game, and Missouri can't secure the missed free throw rebound. A great play by Thabeet to move his feet and throw it off of a Missouri player.
It should be Hasheem Manka. That's his birth name, surname Manka, but when his father died at 14, he used his middle name, Hasheem Thabeet, because he said, I have to be a new person. I'm now the man in my family.
2-3 matchup zone right now for Missouri on the out of bounds.
Tiller, and he was in a scramble to get that interception, and Connecticut then Jeff Adrian forced a foul to try to maintain his possession.
Well, that shows you the tenacity of JT Tiller and why he is such a great defender. Backdoor cut by Beverly. He didn't give up on the cut, went after the ball. I mean, JT Tiller is one tough customer.
Triple jump star, 47-footer in high school. He bounces up to hit that 7-foot jumper, and that tightens the lead. Connecticut's advantage now down to 5. Missouri fans have something to cheer.
Connecticut on the switches have some mismatches. They just need to go to him. Need to get it to Adrian with Lawrence on him. There's the double team.
And then the quick pass, an easy goal for Donnell Beverly, who has only 21 points in 18 games all year.
A terrific job by Jeff Adrian to spin out of that double team and find the open man. The double team came post to post.
The beat out to Hawk Lyons, and it's the 3 by Matt Lawrence. Lawrence, who has 241 trays in his career, the senior from St. Louis.
Lawrence made a terrific read and just faded out to the three-point line when he saw his defender go underneath the screen.
Once ahead by 11, Connecticut's advantage carved to 4. Tipped away by Tiller. There's the foul by Adrian. First on him.
Now the pressure by Missouri really starting to take a little bit of a toll. Maybe a little bit of a frustration on the part of UConn. Just a poor pass on the interior, knocked away, not surprisingly, by JT Tiller. Just he breaks contact to get around in front. Lyons comes over from the weak side. That's really good defense. That's too long of a pass to try to make into the post against this Missouri team.
10-3 run for the Tigers from Columbia. Taylor takes it inside. A beautiful block by Robinson. That's 3 for him.
He blocked that with both hands. What a block.
You figure you get the beat out of there, you might have a chance, but Stanley Robinson, he's been an absolute defensive whiz here in this Western Regional.
Stanley Robinson, he's got another step on his ladder.
Glendale, Arizona. This is interesting information, isn't it? These are the teams with the most wins in the NCAA tournament, but no Final Four. Boston College, Missouri's never been to the Final Four. Bama, Xavier, and Gonzaga, most wins without getting to the biggest of the big dance. Mike Anderson trying to get Mizzou there. 26-22. Connecticut with the lead.
Missouri sticking man-to-man. Connecticut goes a little double stack low. Really couldn't get anything because of the pressure that JT Tiller's putting on the ball.
No wonder he was co-defensive player of the year. Well short is that shot, but the beat again keeps it alive. But Beverly was on the baseline, out of bounds to Mizzou.
You really have to credit JT Tiller with his on-ball defense there. He wouldn't let A.J. Price get into anything, kept him a little deeper on the floor so they couldn't get anything out of that initial double stack. And then he forced him into a really tough shot.
Connecticut now with their starting 5 on the court, and that's going to be a charge against Lyons.
How about that? The shot blocker moves his feet and draws a charge out on the perimeter. The mismatch in Missouri's favor, but Hashim Thabit, the defense.
And welcome back. A look at our game summary. Both teams shooting well, 50% now, as Missouri has gotten a better hand at it. 4 blocks, however, by UConn, and that translates into missed opportunities.
And that was a big call in Hashim Thabit drawing that charge on Leo Lyons. That would have been Thabit's second foul, and I think Mike Anderson and his team had to figure they had the advantage putting the ball on the floor on the perimeter against Thabit.
Just under 8 minutes to go, opening half here in Glendale, Arizona. Top seed Connecticut with the lead, 26-22. And a steal by Lyons. Long pass to Carroll. The beat to beat. No pun intended. And out of bounds to Missouri.
Damari Carroll, no fear, taking it right to the rim against Thabit. And Thabit very intelligently jumped backwards so as not to get a foul. And just use those long arms to contest that shot and force the miss rather than necessarily block it.
Missouri showing a bit of patience now. Go into their offensive set, and this is quick passes around the perimeter.
They're more dribbling than passing right now. They need to pass it more.
Lyons falling away and can't hit it.
That's a shot, Dick, that they can get anytime they want. I think it's been too much bounce and not enough pass. When Missouri's at their best in their half court, that ball's not hitting the floor. And right now, they are dribbling the leather off the ball, and that's not going to beat Connecticut.
Good high pass to Robinson from Price, and there from the backside, the steal by Taylor. Carroll, Lyons. There, now the ball not being dribbled but passed. 7 steals already for Missouri. Carroll, and the leading scorer for Missouri, unable to drop it.
Well, Missouri does such a good job after you grab a rebound. They really press up on you, and oftentimes they can trap the rebounder. They haven't done it with Thabit yet, but that could be effective if they have an opportunity.
A.J. Price has the open man Adrian, who finds Robinson for an easy 2.
Just a little pass fake was effective, wasn't it? Got the defense to move a little bit. That was really effective by Jeff Adrian.
And once again, Connecticut scoring at close range. Lawrence from long range. Yes! Missouri as close as they've been since Connecticut ran out to a 13-2 lead at the start of the game. Now a 3-point advantage for the Huskies.
Well, Stanley Robinson does such a good job defensively, but a poor defensive effort by him there. Leaving the floor. I mean, Matt Lawrence just lifted his eyebrows up, and Stanley Robinson was off of his feet and gone, and that's all Matt Lawrence needs is just a sliver of space to get a shot off.
Lawrence right there at the 1,000 point mark in his career, leading Missouri now with 8, 2 of those on the 3 ball. Clicking down to the 6-minute mark here in this opening half. Robinson rims out the beat with the offensive rebound, and then the travel. Well, they brought the ball down, and that encouraged Missouri to reach in and strip it, and trying to maintain possession. The beat quizzical in the expression, how did I travel on that?
Well, he probably didn't. Looked like it was a little bit of a bailout call, but you're right, Dick. Anytime that Thabit brings the ball down, he makes himself a smaller player. He's got to keep that thing high. It's just difficult to do when you want to gather and go back up.
Lyons gets the beat in the air, feeds Carroll, and we have a 1-point game. Walker, and he scores the easy 2.
How about the use of the body going right into DeMarie Carroll?
Lyons at the other end, and he's fouled. And is this Adrian or Thabit? Thabit points at Adrian.
It was on Thabit.
His second.
Not a very good decision by Hashim Thabit, but a very good one by Leo Lyons to drive him, especially in transition. Just got the angle on him and got that body contact. Thabit was just playing too straight up and down.
Hanging on the sidelines, but he's about to be replaced by Gavin Edwards. Lyons, a 74% shooter from the line. Are you as mad as a drink with real Coast taste and 0 calories? Well, you can prove it. Upload your videos at tastethemadness.com and get mad famous.
Well, Jim Calhoun has been mad at his team for leaving the floor on fakes. They've got to stay disciplined defensively because Missouri has been very, very smart to use shot fakes and pass fakes to keep this team off balance. Excellent job by Missouri.
And with 2 fouls, one presumes Thabit will not play the rest of the half. 5.5 minutes to go. And Missouri enjoying a run of 17-7.
I don't think they can afford to put him back in.
Long pass to Adrian. Works his way underneath and scores. And once again, close in goal for Connecticut.
Not sure how Walker even saw Adrian. He picked it up in a really bad spot, but wound up getting something really good off of it.
Adrian now with 8 points to lead the Huskies. Miguel Paul in the game for the first time, and he hits a 3 to match his number and the number of his distance. Oh, it's a 2 now. They call it a 2. Chris Paul, a distant cousin, also wears the 3.
The body language of Missouri completely different over the last several minutes. They now are attacking, and it's UConn that's back on its heels.
Yeah, Price, he's aggressive, and he hits the floater.
How many times has he come up with the answer for this UConn team? He has just been such a steadying influence for them all season long.
62 points in the 3 games of the tournament coming in. Carroll can't connect. Gavin Edwards with a rebound.
A really nice job by Adrian. He's sitting on that right hand of DeMarie Carroll. He's forcing him left at every opportunity.
He asked Price about having the pressure of the point guard against this tenacious Missouri defense. He said, "That's why I'm here. I love this, the big stage. I like the ball in my hands."
Well, Miguel Paul just using that little screen, not a sense of urgency to get around it, one, or for Gavin Edwards to get there to put a little more pressure on the shot. But A.J. Price just comes up with big shot after big shot. When the pressure was on and UConn needed a scorer to give them a little bit of breathing room, it's no surprise that A.J. Price is the guy that gets them that basket.
Lawrence Bowers, 21, makes an appearance for Missouri. And basically, these are all players off the bench for Mike Anderson, but they have produced throughout the season one of the best benches in all of college basketball.
And they forced 8 Connecticut turnovers. They haven't yet really been able to score off those turnovers directly, but it's really changed their approach, changed their body language. They're in a much more attacking mode over the last 10 minutes of the ballgame.
And again, Hashim Thabit on the bench with 2 fouls. Quick pass inside, and Adrian is in double figures. And once again, it's Connecticut right at the iron to score.
Well, this Missouri team has to do a better job of containing dribble penetration. And they've got to get some second shots.
Lost the ball. Carroll takes it in. Once again, it's the steal and the turnover for Missouri. That's how they've produced victories. Their all-time high 31 this year. And the 1,500th point that was for DeMarie Carroll. Foul in the backcourt.
We talked about how Missouri, after you grab a rebound, can trap the rebounder, go after the rebounder. That's what they did on that play to Gavin Edwards. They got a basket out of it. And after that score, DeMarie Carroll is the player that often is up on the ball. He puts pressure right on the ball. And he and Jeff Adrian came nose to nose with each other. And it was really smart of Adrian to walk away from that.
Foul by Carroll is first, puts Walker on the line, 1-1. That was the 7th team foul on Missouri. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Greg Gumbel, Greg Anthony, Seth Davis preview the Villanova-Pittsburgh East Regional Final, and they'll talk with Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo and Kalen Lucas. Also an AT&T Naismith Watch update. All coming up on AT&T at the half.
Hey, what a game that was yesterday between Michigan State and Kansas. The Spartans just have so much depth. There's no one player. Kalen Lucas has been great all year long, but no one player you can really key on with that team.
Freshman Kemba Walker from the Bronx, New York. He continues to deliver. He has 7 points.
Stanley Robinson has had to guard just about every Missouri player. Now he's on DeMarie Carroll. And Carroll has been what Mike Anderson calls the ultimate warrior for this team.
Robinson, who shut down Robbie Hummel in the second half in the Purdue game, and there he is with the foul. Robinson.
Well, Zaire Taylor did a nice job to go to the other side of the rim, and that's really what wound up getting this contact. He went right into it and jumped right into Stanley Robinson. Robinson looking at the official saying, wait a minute now, I went straight up. And you don't have to be stationary. When you go straight up, you're supposed to have the space from the floor all the way to the ceiling. But Zaire Taylor very smart in going right into him and getting that foul.
So Robinson takes a seat with 2 fouls, joins Hashim Thabit, the 2 top defenders inside for Jim Calhoun. And Gavin Edwards is back, looking for his 4th point. Taylor, and it rims out. Edwards another rebound.
Well, that's what Missouri does, Dick. They like to continue to attack, and that can put you in some foul trouble, especially key players. And sometimes you just have to back off and be smart. You don't want to let the other team score, but you can't be picking up key fouls. Little 3-2 matchup zone right now by Missouri, giving different looks.
A.J. Price, the long bomb, and Tiller rebounds for Missouri. Tigers quick it up court. Taylor. Lawrence. He was falling out of bounds. He's much better when he's able to spot up.
Now you want to make him into a dribbler.
Whoa, Walker just does control the dribble. And that'll be called on Lawrence. His first. Connecticut has committed 16 fouls, so their next foul will put Missouri in the 1-1. But the Huskies, as has been their pattern throughout this great season, only 4 defeats. They just don't foul the way their opponents do.
No, they take 27 free throw attempts per game to the Huskies. That is 14 more per game than their opponents. They foul the least of any team in the country, and really it's because they have Hasheem Thabeet there. You know, when you've got a shot blocker there, you don't have to foul. You can just funnel any dribble into that shot blocker, and then you try to limit them to one shot.
A.J. Price enjoying a terrific tournament, not only controlling the tempo as the point guard, but scoring, and he has 8 points today in this opening half. And the Huskies enjoy a 6-point lead.
Well, A.J. Price has had to change his game a little bit from last year. You remember he had that ACL injury against San Diego in the first round of the tournament. He's not quite as explosive or as athletic, but much smarter as a player.
Taylor for 3? No. It comes out to Kim English, and English unable to get it to fall. Here comes UConn with a 6-point lead. Walker, so quick. Look at that. Kemba Walker. That's why they say this freshman from the Bronx, New York, Rice High School, McDonald's All-America, is going to be a collegiate star.
With just incredible speed, and with the change of direction, nobody could stay in front of him, and nobody came over from the weak side.
Lyons on a good feed from Taylor. He has 8.
There was a good decision by UConn to pull it back out and run a little bit of half-court offense.
A.J. Price driving the baseline. That'll be an offensive foul. Used his off arm to try to ward off the defender. His first foul.
Well, he loves that step-back move. Damari Carroll was right with him. But look at that change of direction by Kemba Walker. Just blazing speed. And then the nice interior pass by Zaire Taylor and Leo Lyons. An outstanding athlete, more of a finesse player. Finishes the play.
Carroll back in, and he drains a 17-footer. And Mizzou climbs back to within 4 as we're in the final minute of this opening half. And that's going to be a call to travel against Connecticut.
Yet another turnover, and Damari Carroll right in the middle of it, the junkyard dog.
11th turnover, Jay Billis.
He just was right there on the catch, and you can't run away from the ball. When you're passing ahead, Missouri is much smarter than that, very alert to the ball, and especially Damari Carroll. What a terrific player he is.
More turnovers in this first half than they have in an entire game on the season average. Out of bounds to Missouri, and Leo Lyons looks at his hand as if he bent a finger on the play.
He might have been better off going straight up and into Edwards. He allowed Adrian to block the shot on the weak side by trying to go to the other side of the rim.
Adrian at 6'7". He's right up there with the best shot blocking forwards in the country. Lyons with a fake on Edwards. Can't hit it. In a scramble, Walker comes up with it. 19 seconds to go in the half.
Well, you had better be prepared for contact when you're going after a rebound. Zaire Taylor was all over Kemba Walker. They are so aggressive.
Taylor smiling at Price. 2 kids who are from the New York area, and Price gets the last laugh, and Connecticut leads the court with a 6-point lead.
He's smarter with the ball. They made some decisions that were less than intelligent toward the last part of that first half, and Missouri certainly took advantage of it.
Stanley Robinson and Hasheem Thabeet, who sat out 5 to 8 minutes of that opening half, are in the game to start this second half as Damari Carroll drives it home. 44-40 Connecticut. 10 for Carroll.
Well, Damari Carroll is the guy that has to use his judgment in trapping in the backcourt, running and jumping, setting those double teams, and he is a very smart defender.
Tiller running into a pick. Adrian from outside. And Thabeet got away with one there. He was over the back of the shorter Missouri player, and it's out of bounds to UConn.
That was a shot at that free throw line that Jeff Adrian knocked down like crazy against Texas A&M, but couldn't hit any of them in the regional semifinal.
And a foul as Robinson drives. Carroll has his second. Mike Anderson, his son Mike Anderson Jr. on the bench, a senior and been with Dad since he came to Missouri campus from the University of Alabama, Birmingham. 100th game. He's looking for a victory and a big one to get Missouri into the Final Four for the first time ever. There's Michael Jr. Imagine there's some rather interesting conversations around the dinner table there in Columbia.
I'm not sure he's having dinner at home. He's probably with the guys. And a lot of times when a son plays for a father, he doesn't wind up having as much communication with Dad because the other players don't necessarily want the son to be telling the dad everything that's going on in their huddles, in their meetings.
Point well taken. Lawrence back to Lyons.
Oh, he can't leave the ball.
Good movement away from the ball. Look at the action by the Missouri offense.
They love to curl screens. The less they dribble, the better their offense is.
Carroll down to 6 on the shot clock. Inside the line is short, but inside there is Tiller to go up and will go to the line as he draws the foul against whom?
Was that Thabit?
Robinson and Thabit were there. It goes to Austrie.
They were all right there. And JT Tiller, really tough shot here, but JT Tiller, when there's a loose ball, I mean, he is going to get it. That kid is one tough customer. I've really been impressed with him all season long, especially on the defensive end. But his play against Memphis, his ability to put his head down and get to the rim was truly impressive.
Kemba Walker with that sensational first half. The freshman replaces Austrie. Tiller 1 for 2. And here comes UConn with a 5-point lead. 26-1 when leading at half, UConn. Missouri is 26-0. But if we go by the history of this long season, Connecticut tough to beat when they enter the second half with a lead. A.J. Price drives on Carroll. Can't score. The tip by Robinson. Robinson was not there. Three-pointer from the corner, no, for Lawrence. The beat clears, and here come the Huskies.
This is where they have to be smart. If it's not there, to pull it out. Boy, that was a foul.
Lawrence not whistled for it. Adrian gets the rebound. Now Thabit, he will go to the line.
You better be a man out on the floor in this game because there is a lot of contact that is going without a whistle on both sides.
Second foul on Tiller, and talk about a man Thabit when he was 14 was that. At 6'5", he was hired as a security guard. He said, all I did is stand at the door and stare at him like I was mean and hope nobody would push me around because I would have run home. Not a bad free throw shooter. There's Rukia Manka, his mom from Tanzania. He's such a happy-go-lucky guy, this Thabit. Tough in the game of Scrabble, and I challenged him. I don't know if he's going to take me up on it. I want to duel with Thabit. No height advantage there.
A mismatch here. Thought the Lions might have driven that ball with Thabit on him. Pulled him away from the basket a bit.
Down to 10 on the shot clock. Lions will shoot it. And Robinson with the rebound.
Maybe just rushed it a little bit because of Thabit coming out with that long arm extended.
Walker drives. This young guy is something special, a future star. Quick, fast, and accurate. 11 for Kemba Walker.
Walker can really take advantage of you if you do not get in front of him, put your chest on him, and stop the ball.
3 minutes into the second half. Missouri trails by 7. And a foul underneath as Connecticut, as they've done all year long, owning the boards.
Boy, what a rebound in traffic by Jeff Adrian, but Matt Lawrence doesn't have much of a chance to stay in front of Kemba Walker when he's got a full head of speed. He just went right through DeMarie Carroll and Leo Lyons. His speed is Taiwan Lawson-like, especially with the ball on his hands. Incredible speed in the open floor.
DeMarie Carroll, the leading scorer for Missouri, with the foul his third, so he takes a seat. Ramsey is in, number 15 for the Tigers.
Well, that's just pitching it away. Can't run away from the ball, and you just can't lob it up like that. That was a turnover from the get-go. You had no chance to complete that pass.
Austria back in for Connecticut. Lyons takes it hard, and a foul. It's pointing at Adrian.
Looked like Austria got him first.
Yeah, and it will be Austria. Craig Austria with his third.
I don't know what Lyons was hesitating for. I thought he should have taken him right away. Anytime that Leo Lyons gets the ball on the perimeter with Hashim Thabit guarding him, all he has to do is put a little shot block and drive, or excuse me, shot fake and drive, and he can go right around him.
Lyons 2 for 2 from the line, looks for his 9th point. You can watch exclusive video of Amen Corner Live, plus 15 and 16 live, and bonus coverage of the entire field with Masters Extra at cbssports.com/Masters Live and Masters.com. Lyons hits 1 out of 2, and it's a 6-point UConn lead.
Full court pressure, and they really haven't been able to throw any traps on UConn because of their ability to break it off the dribble, whether it's been Price or Walker.
Oh, Walker is so clever with the dribble. Just misses that long shot. Thabit with a rebound, misses a couple attempts. Finally Tiller for Missouri. 2 men back for UConn. Tiller can't get totally inside. Feeds Lawrence, blocked from behind by Robinson. Price, and he's pipped by Ramsey. Helter Skelter. Inside Carroll. No, it's Leo Lyons with a left-handed flip. Oh my, end to end.
Boy, what was advantage UConn, because Missouri didn't give up on the play, turned into advantage Tigers.
Thabit can't hit. Lawrence clears. Down by only 4. Missouri on the attack. Lawrence, they came out quickly. Robinson on him to deny the 3-point attempt. He is the man for the 3 ball. Finally free, fires, no foul. Thabit rebound.
Yeah, that's a foul. Yeah, you got to call that right away. Boy, Missouri has really fought hard.
Lawrence didn't like the fact that he was bumped by Austria. No call. Big East teams that are in the Elite 8. UConn, one of those 4 with a lead here against the Missouri Tigers, 49-44.
Actually, Louisville is the team most like Missouri that UConn has played this season, and it was a game that was not as up and down as this one is. This pace is more in favor of Missouri, and they have got, I think, UConn at times on their heels a little bit.
Connecticut beat Louisville 68-51, had no problems with that full court press of the Cardinals.
Well, they cut through it. The pressure's a little bit different that Louisville puts on. I don't want to say it's a little more predictable, but you don't know where these traps are coming from.
A.J. Price denied by Ramsey, the 6'9" junior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Well, Ramsey is the best post defender on this Missouri team, and as Price gets by Justin Safford, Ramsey is able to come over from the weak side and erase that.
8 on the shot clock, and Tiller gets his hands on it. Now the scramble, and it goes out of bounds off a foot. It was Kim English, 3 on the shot clock.
Ramsey is a very skilled player, and you can see just coming over from the weak side, you got to get guards in there to block out Hashim Thabit. Denman doing a nice job getting in there and putting his body on the line.
He's got to shoot quickly, and Price does. And Thabit was boxed out, but we'll see how this call goes. I believe it's going to be against Safford of Missouri.
I think it's on Thabit.
No, the other way. It was a long wait before the official gave the point, and it's Thabit picking up his 3rd, joining Craig Austria with 3 fouls.
Just a great block out. Not a good one, a great one by Safford. And it looked like that Thabit hurt himself a little bit when he went down on the floor. Safford doing a terrific job blocking out. Thabit knocks the ball away. And I'm not sure exactly where the foul was if it wasn't on the reach-in. That was just 2 guys going after the ball.
Safford is 6'8", a sophomore from Bloomington, Illinois, 6'8", 230, and growing, they say. And Thabit joins Austria and in some pain over there. We'll check on that if there is injury involved.
See, those are the kind of fouls, Dick, that I would call silly fouls on the part of Hasheem Thabeet. You want to get it when you're going for a block shot. A great move.
Wow, Justin Safford, acrobatic. Makes the play at the defensive end and comes back wheeling and dealing.
Well, he is very mobile and a very skilled left-hander, just blowing by Gavin Edwards, and they've been trying to drive Edwards. That was clearly part of their plan whenever Edwards came into the game, and Edwards going to have to come out. But Safford showing that high skill level, and he can get hot from the perimeter. Not a guy that shoots a lot of threes, but he doesn't miss many. I mean, he shot like 67% from three-point range on the season.
Misses that. Kept alive by Safford, but finally out of bounds. No, they're going to call that to Missouri. But good effort by Safford to knock it away from the Connecticut rebounder.
Missouri playing with more energy right now. They have got UConn back on their heels, and UConn needs to come out with a little bit more energy to match the intensity that Missouri's been bringing.
English takes it to the iron and tipped in by Safford. Now Ramsey got his hands on it. It's a one-point game again, and a turnover as Walker tried to get it to Price.
Well, that's the Missouri pressure starting to take its toll. Hasheem Thabeet out of the game. All of a sudden, no offensive rebounds in the first half to speak of, and nobody lays a body on Keith Ramsey. Just an athletic play to tip it back up there and in.
In fact, Ramsey laid on his teammates, Buddy English, to vault his way in position for the lead. And Denman, who hit that 65-footer, couldn't get it to drop. UConn 1 for 11 field goal shooting this half, and he's way off the mark on that attempt.
Well, you usually don't see Craig Austrie making mistakes like that. That was a dumb shot. To come down, there was nothing going to the rim, and to take a shot like that was not a very smart play by a usually very smart senior.
Tiller replaces Taylor, and Austrie takes a seat next to Calhoun. Missouri has never led in the game, trailed by as many as 11 early, 11 again middle of the first half. They've pulled within one on several occasions, but have never had their name in front. They do now. Keith Ramsey open for the layup. Ramsey off the bench with 6.
And this pressure has really confused UConn.
They led throughout against Texas A&M and Purdue, and a foul underneath against Missouri.
JT Tiller doing a really nice job of changing pace. Gets around that little ball screen, and then the slip to the basket by Keith Ramsey. Nobody there because the defense was scrambling. He had to help up with Gavin Edwards. Boy, Missouri's got the pace they want. This is Missouri's kind of game. And UConn has got to wrestle the tempo back if they want a trip to Detroit.
Foul was on Tiller, his 3rd. Robinson, with his 9th point of the game, ties it up.
Dick, before this game, we talked about decisions and decisions under pressure. Early on in the game, UConn made very good decisions against Missouri's pressure. Those decisions throughout the game have deteriorated. Right now, their decision-making has been poor. A couple bad shots, some bad passes.
Robinson short, so the game tied at a half 100 with 13 minutes to go. Safford works the baseline. Great block by Gavin Edwards.
Well, Edwards got beat, but a terrific recovery. And boy, the energy that Safford and Ramsey have brought into this game has really made a big change for Missouri.
Oh, beautiful drive.
How do you stay in front of that guy?
Walker is so quick in that crossover dribble. And Jim Calhoun said, I can't keep this big fella on the bench any longer. Back comes Thabeet with 3 fouls.
Well, this is where you have to rely on Thabeet's experience, and I'm sure somebody got into him a little bit to say be smart, because 2 of his fouls were not smart.
Taylor and Missouri trail by 2. 12.5 minutes left. Safford from outside, rims out. Last touch by Connecticut.
Even Safford's misses are good. He only takes good shots, and when he pulls the trigger on a three, he hardly ever misses.
One of the players from Missouri that really developed in the course of the season. Ramsey, what a play. They kept curling Ramsey and his teammates until somebody broke free.
Well, usually it's going to be the screener, Dick, that's open on that play. And because Missouri curls so hard off of screens, you're worried about the cutter. When it's the screener that's the guy you've got to be careful of.
What a contribution by Keith Ramsey. His best effort all year, 12 points in a game. He has 8 today. There's Walker again, and a foul.
In this game, and Missouri's got the pace going faster in the second half of this game. Connecticut only 2 of 14 from the field going against this Missouri defense. Their decisions have not been nearly as good as they were against Louisville in early February.
Now, one good decision by Jim Calhoun is to put this freshman Kemba Walker in the game. How about his effort? 14, looking for 15 points to lead the Huskies.
Well, Jim Calhoun was really laying into A.J. Price, his senior guard, right before that last time out. He wants better decisions out of Price, and when he gets back in there, he wants better leadership.
Jay, are you surprised that Missouri team is playing so effectively against 2 teams, Memphis and Connecticut? Both were considered heavy favorites. There's a rare turnover from the Missouri end through the hands of Ramsey.
I'm not surprised, Dick. I was just surprised at the margin that Missouri was able to beat Memphis by, and the fact that they hung 102 on them. Nobody has scored 100 points against a John Calipari coach team in college. Nobody. And for Missouri to do that to Memphis was really surprising. Not that they won, but the manner in which they won was truly, truly impressive.
2-point lead, UConn. Adrian. And the senior is going to be called for a charge. Jeff Adrian trying to bull his way to the glass, and good defense by Missouri.
Well, UConn just trying to overpower this team. You lower that shoulder, and that's exactly what Jeff Adrian did, lower that right shoulder. And Justin Safford is mobile. He's a good athlete, moved his feet, and he maintained that initial guarding position.
Only the 4th team foul on Connecticut this second half. Connecticut's already in the bonus. Missouri's been called for 7 fouls. English inside, and he is blocked by Robinson. Taylor, good fake on Thabit, and another block by Robinson. He is having a party of his own.
Well, Zaire Taylor with a beautiful shot fake, and Hasheem Thabit usually doesn't leave the floor until the offensive player does. But you see this really nice shot fake, gets by him, and Stanley Robinson comes over from the weak side. If UConn is able to get to the Final Four, the reason they're going is Stanley Robinson.
That shot by Denman a little flat, and a tie up underneath, and the arrow goes to Connecticut. And this is all the more remarkable about the Missouri offense. They have 16 assists in the game and only 4 turnovers. Safford gets a hand as he goes to the bench, and Ramsey as well.
They really changed this game when they came in, both Safford and Ramsey, with their energy, their mobility. That was a big factor, and the bench has really affected UConn in the second half. It's been advantage Missouri from the bench, and UConn looks frustrated. You know, they're complaining to the officials. That's not like this team, and Missouri's causing that frustration.
Denman in the game. He's defending against Price in this sequence. Carroll has returned. He has 3 fouls. Austrie from the corner. A little too long. Thabit couldn't get the rebound. Carroll did. Carroll. Good ball movement. Taylor for 3. He got a good shot.
Got a great shot. And you're right about the ball movement. Not just the ball movement, but the shot fakes and the ball fakes. Right now, UConn is going for every shot fake. Every one of them.
We've reached the midpoint of this second 20-minute period in Glendale, Arizona. Top seed, the UConn Huskies leading Missouri 54-52. That ball last touched by Thabit. Missouri goes the other way.
And you can just feel the tension and the frustration. UConn's got a lead in this game, and they're the team that's frustrated.
Austrie out and Kemba Walker back in, and Jim Calhoun says as Walker's having such a superb game, I better get him back on the court.
Everybody for UConn bending over at the waist right now. You wonder if the pace of this game taking its toll, especially on the big guys.
Denman out, Miguel Paul in for Missouri.
It's not just the full court nature of the game, it's how much ground that UConn's having to cover in half court defense. They're chasing them all over the floor.
Carroll will try a three off the back of the rim. Walker, and he loses it out of bounds off his knee.
Yeah, Missouri just so disruptive. That was Leo Lyons that reached in there. Oftentimes you don't want a big guy reaching in on a guard, but that's just what Missouri does. That's the way they play.
16th turnover by UConn. Missouri defense has forced plus 235 turnovers on the season. Mike Anderson wanted a foul on that play.
Well, that time Hasheem Thabeet kept his feet and stayed on the ground, and that was why he forced that turnover.
Stepped on the line, and UConn with a 2-point lead, 9:18 to go.
Pretty typical of the great performances you've seen from Missouri. The turnover differential a little bit higher than normal, but Missouri does not turn the ball over very much. They turn over about 11 times per game, and they force over 18 turnovers.
UConn 2 for 16 shooting in the second half, and that's too much crowding by Lyons. His second.
I think part of the frustration for UConn, the turnovers they've had, the missed shots, missed opportunities. You know, they probably feel like they should be way up in this game, but you know, they can't worry about that, because if you worry about it, Missouri is going to punish you for it. This team just keeps coming at you.
UConn in the bonus situation now. Anthony Jordan, A.J. Price at the line looking for his 11th point. And can't hit the front end. Lyons sends it ahead to Paul. Paul to Carroll.
UConn a straight man-to-man team. So he's got to drive it here.
Zaire Taylor into the corner. Lyons fires and hits. Tied at 54. 8:27 to go. 13 for Lyons to lead the Tigers. The Lions leading the Tigers.
Nice pass.
And it's Robinson from the left wing to slam it home. UConn 56-54.
Ball went into the post. That means you're probably going to see a double team and a great basket cut from the wing on the weak side by Stanley Robinson.
And Taylor had a notion of going up the lane, and then it was Jeff Adrian who gave him that look. That was going to be there, and there's it knocked away by Price and a turnover.
I don't know why you want to give a handoff to Matt Lawrence. There is nowhere for him to go.
Price. The beat. Can't come up with a rebound. Last touch by Missouri. Well, Stanley Robinson has developed quite a tournament resume for the UConn Huskies.
A lot of bumping, grinding, and grabbing. The officials have done a really good job, but you need 3 Green Berets to officiate this game.
And we'll see more of the same in the second game when Pittsburgh and Villanova, 2 more brethren in the Big East, go at it. That'll be no Boston Tea Party. 7:38 to go. Connecticut with the ball and a 2-point lead. Biggest lead, 11.
And UConn has really struggled in this second half, shooting at 3 of 18 from the field. They haven't gotten anything easy. They got a lot of easy baskets in the first half.
Price, a rare 3-pointer for UConn. A.J. Price delivering. He has 13.
Only their second made 3 of the game.
A little discussion over whose ball this is, as Price, you see the perfect trajectory for the senior star.
Well, since he got hurt last year, he's changed his game a little bit. More of a perimeter shooter now rather than a penetrator. And he's such a smart and crafty player.
3 for 18 on the 3 ball from Missouri, and yet they're still right there with Connecticut, and that's inside the line for Zaire Taylor. 59-56.
Zaire Taylor was all rookie in the Colonial Athletic Association when he played at Delaware, and all newcomer in the Big 12. You don't see that very often.
You don't see many Blue Hens become Tigers either. 6:45 left. A tenuous 3-point lead for the top seeds from the Big East, the UConn Huskies. Adrian takes it out of traffic. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Price with the ball. Another 3. In and out. Nice tip ahead by Lyons to Tiller, who saves. Tiller, nice pass as he sets up Matt Lawrence, and it's a 1-point game again.
What a touch shot by Matt Lawrence. Not only the difficult distance, but to get it off so quickly.
Ticking down to the 6-minute mark. Kemba Walker to Price. Adrian inside and a grab.
JT Tiller, when he gets up ahead of steam, he is hard to stop. He drew Kemba Walker over to try to stop that penetration. And boy, Matt Lawrence, that is a really difficult shot. And he did it so quickly to loft it over with arc. Hasheem Thabeet and Stanley Robinson, big time play.
Lions' third foul. Adrian at the line. And we remind you to check out the plays we're considering for Pontiac, game-changing performance of the tournament. And while you're there, enter for a chance to win a trip for 4 to this year's Final Four. Only at Pontiac.com/NCAA. Senior Jeff Adrian has 12 points in the game. And it's UConn by 3.
UConn only has 5 team fouls, so they do have 1 to give. Means they can be aggressive. You don't want to just give it up for nothing.
Walker working on Tiller. Tiller draws the foul.
And he'll get 2 shots out of that one. That's just JT Tiller's toughness right there. Just putting his head down, not giving up his dribble. We saw a similar play out of Tiller against Memphis where he was able to get to the rim and just bully whoever was guarding him.
His coach Anderson calls him the Iron Man of our team. Just a junior from Marietta, Georgia.
Well, the 3 toughest players on this team are Damari Carroll, JT Tiller, and I would put Zaire Taylor in there as well. Those 3 guys bring the toughness you need, I think, to be a great team.
Free throw shooting was a little short against Memphis, and it is again today. They're 6 for 12. Missouri, it's a 2-point game.
Here comes the trap with Carroll. Try to speed you up.
Walker inside for another easy 2 for UConn.
Well, the smallest man on the floor rises high to finish. Just a freshman. He has been maybe the most mature player on the floor for UConn.
You bet. He has been most impressive. Lions battle inside, and it's Walker in the crowd to pull it away. Leads all scorers with 17 and looks for 2 more. Dumps it off to Thabeet. It's good, and 1.
Dick Enberg, Kemba Walker is from the Bronx in New York. And that New York City toughness is coming out in a game that has a little bit of a street element to it with the way it's being played. Kemba Walker has emerged as one tough customer. Good catch by Hasheem Thabeet, the gather and the finish. And he'll step to the line where he's a much improved free throw shooter.
Meanwhile, Damari Carroll, that was his 4th foul, so he takes a seat as Thabeet toes the line with those big 18s. Short. Actually, Carroll stays in the game. Pulled off that rebound. Playing with 4, Damari Carroll, leading scorer for Missouri. He's had a quiet scoring day against this tough Connecticut defense. Well, 5 minutes to go.
There's nothing to save him for. You can leave Carroll in the game without concern.
Tiller outside to Taylor for 3. And again, the 3 ball has just not been working for Missouri.
And again, UConn limiting this Missouri team to 1 shot. Their work on the defensive glass has been really, really solid.
UConn fans across the way on their feet to applaud the Huskies, up by 6.
Coaches couldn't be better guys. They've done wonderful jobs with each of their programs, and it is going to be an absolute fist fight to get to the Final Four in that next ball game.
UConn with the lead on the ball, 4.5 minutes to go here in Glendale, Arizona. One of these teams about to write their ticket to Detroit on the Final Four next weekend. 6 on the shot clock. Austrie Oh, what a rebound by Robinson, and he draws a foul. He goes up like an outfielder against the wall and pulls that one down.
Boy, with those long arms and that great leaping ability, Austria's shot, oftentimes a shot from the corner will come out to the opposite corner, but it looked like Robinson got buried underneath. What an athletic play. Just stuck with it. That's a big-time rebound by Stanley Robinson.
Earns a couple of shots here, and that's his 12th point of the game. Go with 6 rebounds and 4 blocks.
You know, when Jerome Dyson went down for the season with a knee injury against Syracuse, there were many that thought that might be UConn's Final Four hopes that went to the sidelines with Dyson. But over the last probably 6 games, Stanley Robinson has stepped forward. If this team gets to the Final Four, I think Stanley Robinson will be the reason.
Hits both free throws to build the lead to 8. Safford takes it inside and won't go down.
And how many shots has Justin Safford had that have gone in and out? That one, the three-pointer he shot earlier in this half. And he and Ramsey have done such a good job in this game.
Walker again slices inside. Taylor able to rebound and send Tiller the other way. Tiller, Denman, and the freshman who had that sensational 65-footer in the win against Memphis has his first bucket.
Well, what a bad play by Jeff Adrian. He let go of the ball, then went and got it himself. That's a turnover. Against Missouri's pressure, you cannot be careless with the ball, and Jeff Adrian was. With those big hands, he's palming it with one hand. That means he can't pull it back. He let it go. It bounced on the end line. That is a turnover, and he went to catch it when he was out of bounds. That's a turnover. You have got to be strong with the ball, even when you're inbounding it against this great Missouri pressure. That was a mistake by a senior and a big one.
17th turnover, and it gives Missouri down by 6. Another opportunity. Tiller pulls up. The lead is 4, 67-63 UConn. Plenty of time. And a foul in the backcourt. Tiller drops his head. JT with his 4th foul.
And here's where stepping to the free throw line toward the end of a ball game when it's close, that's where real toughness shows through. And I'm not sure there's a tougher player on this UConn roster than A.J. Price with all he's been through in his career and the kind of season that he's had. He's been remarkable all year long.
71% shooter from the line.
He's short-armed 2 of them in a row. He's come up short the last 2 free throws.
Looking for his 14th point today. Robinson has 13 and freshman Walker 17 to lead UConn.
You wonder if this Missouri pressure has gotten into his legs a little bit.
Rattles that one in. 16 for 22 UConn from the line. Missouri 10 less free throws made. They're 6 for 12.
Missouri's had some success attacking off the dribble, getting into the lane, either kicking it out or finishing a play.
Robinson out on Denman, the guard. He shuts down his opponent. Boy, what a defender, Robinson. Safford with 8. Loses the ball. Now pressure for Taylor at 5, 4. Taylor off balance, misses. Safford tips it in. Just got a big arm up there. I think it went off his forearm.
Well, he's so athletic, and anytime you go for a block shot like Hashim Thabit did, that opens up the offensive glass. Safford took advantage of it.
2:35 to go. UConn with the ball and a 3-point lead. What a game here in Glendale, Arizona. It's on the line for the Final Four. some critical numbers along with the 3-point UConn lead. The fact that UConn already in the double bonus. Connecticut next foul will send Missouri to the line 1-1. 4 timeouts left for Anderson, 2 for Calhoun. Could be important.
Could be very important, especially with the pressure that Missouri can bring. You got 2 timeouts to try to, if you get in trouble, you can get yourself out of trouble. And that arrow very important as well, going Missouri's way. So if they can get a tie-up, that's a turnover.
1 possession game at 68-65.
The beat hadn't well, he just left the lane. He was in there a long time.
Kemba Walker, the freshman, calling out the offense down to 7-6. He loves to drive. Banks it in. What a game for Kemba Walker. Is it going to be a freshman that leads this UConn veteran team to Detroit?
He is playing like he's on the playgrounds of the Bronx. He has been New York City tough.
19 points for Walker. Safford inside with a soft hook. And this sophomore from Missouri announcing his talent as well in the clutch. Less than 2 to go. UConn's lead is 3.
Kemba Walker with his great speed and quickness. His speed changes the game. The pivoting around a solid defender, Zaire Taylor. And that New York City toughness. But how about the toughness of Bloomington, Illinois with Justin Safford? That's a big-time play by Safford. He's been terrific in this second half with his energy.
3-point game. Connecticut facing that Missouri full court press. Oh, high bounce, but A.J. Price, a great job of catching that.
Can't say I've seen a pass like that out of a trap, especially in a pressure situation. Got away with that one.
Missouri has led only once in the game by 1 point. That was in the second half. Connecticut's biggest lead, 11. Price inside to score. And the senior veteran with a clutch bucket for 16 on the game.
And pretty well defended by Marcus Denman. He stayed in front of him, didn't let him get by. Forced him to make a tough shot.
1:20 to go. Ten on the shot clock. Tiller with a shot. A tough one it was, and it's a rebound going to Kemba Walker. And this little guy is fearless at both ends of the court. He's 6'1" from the Bronx. No wonder a McDonald's All-America last year.
Well, he has really stepped forward in this ball game, and has stepped forward in large measure since Jerome Dyson went down.
And J.T. Tiller, that was his 5th foul. He's out.
What a warrior J.T. Tiller is. Pleasure to watch that young man fight, and he does fight from the opening tap until the final buzzer.
A junior. I expect him back as the leader of the Mizzou team next year. This Missouri team, by the way, the most improved over a year of any college in the nation, plus 15 wins over their season last year of 16-16.
Yeah, the first 30-win season in Missouri history with a program with such proud tradition. I was a little bit surprised that this is the first time that that program has reached the 30-win plateau.
Walker looking for his 20th point. And he's 6 for 7 from the line. If he makes this one, it will equal his high on the season.
He had 21 against St. John's earlier this year when he was headed back home.
11 more free throws for UConn in a 6-point game. 11 more made by the Huskies.
And that's where their advantage usually shows itself. They average 14 more free throw attempts per game than their opponent, in large measure because they foul less.
Less than a minute to go. 7-point deficit. Missouri with the ball. Denman couldn't get in. The beat came up with the ball, and the quick foul as Lyons tries to stop Walker, who has just been everywhere at this Glendale, Arizona court. The peripatetic freshman Kemba Walker.
And how about the challenge of that shot by Stanley Robinson, Hasheem Thabeet? You'd have to have a ladder to get up and get that shot over those outstretched arms.
Robinson brilliant defensively. Walker averaging 8.5 a game during the season, and now has his season high of 22.
Just a gutsy drive here by Marcus Denman, but you can see he had to move that ball into his left hand just to try to loft it up over Stanley Robinson, who was guarding him, and Hasheem Thabeet, who came over from the weak side. That's the value of having shot blockers, which Jim Calhoun has had for years. I don't know what's it been, 7 years and 8 years in a row.
They've led the nation.
Well, what are they going to do next year?
Put Kemba Walker down there. Maybe he'll give you that. He's done everything else tonight. 2 more free throws. No time to waste on an offensive chance, and there's a big 3 from Matt Lawrence. 76-70. The 3 gives Missouri a chance. 2-possession game. We salute our Chevrolet players of the game. Leo Lyons for the Tigers with 13, and Kemba Walker, a brilliant 23-point game for this freshman point guard. 76-70 UConn, each coach with 2 timeouts. Again, Connecticut has not allowed Missouri to get into the 1-and-1, while the Huskies are in the double bonus, and that's paying off here down the line. Is Missouri forced to foul to stop the clock, and here's another. That'll send Craig Austrie to the line. He's their best free throw shooter, almost 80% on the year.
UConn did not have the pace that it wanted in most of this game. In the second half, though, it was their defense that really came through. And they can salt this game away if they can just inbound the ball successfully, and if they can step to the line and knock free throws down.
With the luxury of the 2-shot foul here in the bonus. Austrie only points came on a 3-point shot early in the game. And he shoots like an 80% free throw artist, doesn't he? Lyons comes back. Ramsey goes out.
Boy, how important was it for UConn that Craig Austrie snapped out of the slump he was in shooting the ball against Purdue? Had 17 points in that game, knocked down all 3 of his 3-point attempts. He's got to feel much better about his game right now.
22 free throws made by UConn, 6 by Missouri. Carroll's going to take a force 3. The beat has it knocked away. Safford then tied up.
Missouri keeps it.
But precious time ticking down to 28.2 seconds. That's all that separates Jim Calhoun from another entry to the Final Four out of the West region. Calhoun has taken his teams to 8 Elite Eights, twice to the Final Four, both times out of the West. Both times they won the national title.
Right now, UConn has to guard the 3-point line. Giving up a layup is fine. You don't want to do it, but you'd rather give up something inside the line than outside. Inside the line, it's a 4-possession game.
Taylor takes it inside against Walker, can't hit. Carroll to put it back. And another timeout by Mike Anderson on the Missouri bench. 78-72 UConn. the game reset. Missouri yet with one timeout, Connecticut 2, and the big double bonus situation for Connecticut, outscoring Missouri by plenty from the line. And next up is the number 3 seed Villanova, number 1 in Pittsburgh. That'll assure a Big East representative in the Final Four. Will UConn be the second from the powerful Big East?
Got a foul right away. You can't wait. Too much time went off the clock.
Down to 18.3 before Zaire Taylor commits the foul. Missouri almost needed a turnover, a steal, and not the foul to stop the clock in this situation. That'll send A.J. Price to the other end. 3 for 5 from the line today, looking for his 17th point. He's averaged over 20 in the first 3 games of this NCAA tournament.
A confident player that has been through so much in his career. I'm not sure there's a player in college basketball that in the last 4 years has been through as much as A.J. Price has been through. And say what you will about some of the trials and tribulations he's had, but he has battled through every one of them to make it to this point, just on the threshold of the Final Four.
Talking with him yesterday, just exuded confidence. Hits both free throws. You're right, Jay Billis. 80 points. 80 for Connecticut, 72 from Missouri. And look who's coming in. It's Michael Anderson Jr., who's a senior. And this will be his last game should the Tigers lose. And Dad says, I'm going to let my son, who's been a patient player, a practice player, a good team player, at least get the opportunity of playing in a tournament game.
Well, you can't say enough about the job that Mike Anderson has done with this Missouri program to be right on the cusp of a Final Four. They've done an extraordinary job in Columbia with this team.
Zaire Taylor nails a 3 with 8.2 seconds left. That's Anderson's last time out. Mike Anderson's gallant effort. This Missouri Tiger team certainly delightful to watch. This end-to-end action, producing the Big 12 tournament championship for the first time for Missouri. Most wins ever in Missouri history. So close to going to the Final Four for the first time for the Tigers. 8.2 seconds. They have to come up with a steal quickly, don't they?
They will switch every screen, face guard, but they do have to foul right away, and they fouled the best free throw shooter for Connecticut. That's why you wanted to foul earlier on the last possession when it was around 24 seconds, 23 seconds. It got all the way down to 18. You want to try to extend the game as long as you can. If you have to trade 3 for 2, at least you have an opportunity. I mean, stranger things have happened with 8 seconds to go, but certainly it's advantage Connecticut.
5-point lead and the best free throw shooter on the Husky squad at the line. He's looking for his 6th point, 2 for 2 at the charity.
Craig Austrie is like that utility infielder that can play any position. You know, you put him in the game, he can guard just about anybody on the perimeter. Usually really good poise. Coughed up a couple in this ball game, but who didn't against this Missouri pressure? But I think Jim Calhoun described him earlier this year to me as a comfortable sweater. He's reliable. I know what I'm going to get.
Slender hopes for Mizzou flicker away as Austrie hits them both. So it's more than a 2-possession game. Denman in. So is Lawrence, their best 3-point shooters, but the clock the enemy of the Tigers. Taylor with 3, with 2, with 1, misses the layup, and the UConn Huskies from the West